time, Young, in great form as he was last week at the MCG. Mitchell to Winmar. Outside 50, but with the breeze at his back, this should be a goal. All it has to do is sit into the goal square. Packet, first blood to the Satyrs. Very handy goal against the breeze. Just a one effective scoring shot for the Western Bulldogs, and they trailed by 5 points. St Kilda having most of the footy on their forward line, but little reward. Burked out in the tackle, picked up by West. Straight back to Mitchell. Kicked into the man in front of him, who was Harvey. Couldn't do much with it. West again. Good tackle by Burke. Ball jarred free. Thompson gets it back to Healy. Now Harvey, outside 50. Wind in front of Everett. Takes the mark. Scotty Wine, he'll go towards the defensive side, you would reckon, from there.
And he's tracked Peter Everett deep into the goal square. It was just a poor kick, that one, that didn't favour Everett.
He's not going to the defensive side, but finds on his own. Dent up to Croft. Needs a good bounce. Gets it at centre wing. Terrible kick. Bounces just inside the line. It was intended for Martin. Couldn't find him out of bounds centre wing close to the interchange gates.
Croft on that occasion was probably only where he had time to balance and straighten up on his dominant side, that being his right foot. But he decided to kick with his left foot, and his disposal wasn't accurate.
So 8.5 minutes left. St Kilda inside 58. The Bulldogs 4. And still just 1 goal to the Saints at this stage of the quarter, kicking with what we've estimated about a 3 or 4 goal breeze. Julia low with the mark. On to Mitchell. Croft gives chase and then gives up. Oh, mark, free kick, whatever.
They've got a problem with Stuart Lowe taking so much of the ball up on the wing as he did then. Because when the ball comes to the next kick, they haven't got a Stuart Lowe type of player ready to mark the ball there. Trying to get it to Sierakowski, but he hasn't got the same marking strength as Stuart Lowe.
Kick by Rowan Smith. Speaking of Stewie Lowe, there he is, dragging one down.
He's been pushed up into the ruck.
On to Young.
Everett's at full forward, Sierakowski's at centre half forward along with Healy.
Sierakowski making a lead. Young just wide of the centre circle. Everett and Wine. Both got a fingernail to it. Couldn't do too much more with it. Wirra onto Dent. Needs to be quick. Tries to measure the hand pass. They share it around. Dent will come back to Garlick. Jones chips in. Beautiful intercept. Deserves a goal. And he got it. What a ripper. Great play.
That is just sensational play by Aussie Jones. He read the intercept exceptionally well. He just got a deft touch to it to keep the ball alive. He ran onto the open ball, as we see by the replay here. Brad Wirra releases Dent, who kicks and looks wide as he gets the handball back here. Looks wide, tries to find a Western Bulldogs teammate, but see the intercept here by Aussie Jones. Great anticipation, balanced himself, had a quick look at the goals. There's no doubt about that. He meant it. Terrific finish.
Well, you won't see a better goal than that. You may not see a better piece of play than that today. 2-5 to 1 goal. 11 points is the margin. A badly needed one for St Kilda with this breeze. As I said, though, it's more than a breeze. Mitchell again looks for Zilla. Godzilla inside the centre square. It's a bomb into the goal square. May bounce through. Oh, it has. 2 quick ones to the Satyrs. 7 minutes to go in the quarter. So the pendulum back on St Kilda's side of the clock. Mitchell to Harvey. This is looking better from a St Kilda point of view. Little nudge there by Everett.
He's got it.
Comes down with a footy, nearly the mark. Jones, Zilla, wind over the top. Jones shuffles it out to the advantage of Thompson. Still Thompson. West did well. Not too many friends for him there. The boundary line was won. He does find it just ahead of Romero, throw in out of side.
It's amazing what a little bit of individual brilliance can do. That goal of Aussie Jones really has sparked the St Kilda side. They've slipped it into top gear, and the brilliance of the goal was that he knew that the wind was blowing straight down the ground. He had no angle to look at. He just pushed it out in front of the goal, and the wind blew it through. It was an uncanny goal.
Wirra defending desperately. Mitchell's got him. Hasn't got the football. The umpire has found the free kick for holding the ball. Peter McKenna.
Yes, Pete, I said how they needed a small man down the forward line. The Saints, Aussie Jones has been pushing down. Luke Berridge has gone down that forward pocket area too, so that's a good move by Stan Alves.
Sierakowski in front. Couldn't mark Thompson's kick. Good tackle by Burke. Rides Romero into the turf. It will be a ball up.
And as Peter McKenna spoke about a couple of smalls, two players that have been very important in this initial stage of the game has been Gavin Mitchell's had 5 kicks and 5 handballs, 10 possessions in the midfield. Also as Andrew Thompson, who's had 3 and 6. Two very in and under type players who get momentum forward for the Saints.
I just wonder whether St Kilda need the 3 tallest players, if you consider Heatley tall, on the forward line at the moment. The ball isn't really going to be marked because of the windy conditions.
Yeah, it's a valid point, Jared.
Well, a little kick by Wind. And another one off the ground. He's been watching the World Cup, Jones and Garlick. They've both got speed. Jones. Stewie low. Over the head of Croft. Crediuk positions himself in front of his opponent. Good Shepherd enables Southern to get the clearing kick away to Croft. Onto Dimatina. Need to get something from him. Dimatina's kick well inside 50. Minton Connell. Cook. Snapped by Cook, off target, out of bounds in the left forward pocket for the Western Bulldogs.
Sorry, Pete, possibly the wrong option there by James Cook. He probably should have released the ball by hand to his overlapping player in Michael Martin. May have ran into an open goal. He decided to kick it himself.
The only goal scorer so far for the Bulldogs. Darcy with Lowe. Won by the latter. Down to Berg. Well, they're just running it at will. This is Max Hudgton. Kick up towards centre field.
Everett one out in the square with Wine.
Hit the long way from goal, but he's a great kick. Not so that time. Sierakowski. Gee, no, he took the mark. Wirra onto Dent.
Peter Everett absolutely filthy with that kick from Heatley. It had to go long to Everett.
Dimatina again. Another run. 3 bounces. 4. Under kick against the breeze. Minton Connell in front. And I guess on a day like today, you have to be in front.
And that's his great strength. Minton Connell's a good move by the player, having up there this early, kicking into the wind, because as you say, in front is the only position to be, and he's such a great user of his body that he just took that front position, and he was never going to miss that mark.
So Simon Minton Connell for the Bulldogs second. He won the goal kicking at Sydney 3 times. And won the Western Bulldogs goal kicking last year. Unsuccessful stint at Hawthorn. That looks pretty good from that angle. He's got their second. Kick came from Dimatina, who's had 5 kicks and 1 hand pass so far, so he's been busy around midfield. Wine, who's also had 5 kicks, wins it, but taken by Harvey. Harvey out wide. Garlick and Jones. Garlick down in the tackle. Gets it to West. Taken high. Loses it. Campbell. On to Mitchell. Back to Thompson. He'll go long to the square. Will this one bounce through as well? Croft gets a hand to it and rushes it through for 1 behind.
Once again, the brilliance of Rob Harvey in the middle of the ground. He's a genius in there. That's his great strength. Launching St Kilda attacks.
Mark taken by Rowan Smith. Oh, Burke late on Ramiro. Umpire lets it go. Wakeland can't stop the mark from Grant. West very busy in the first quarter. A little gift to Martin. Campbell gives chase. One-on-one contest here. This time Minton Connell caught behind. Wakeland in front. Low pressures. Minton Connell. That was nearly a throw. But not nearly.
It was a perfect tackle, Pete, because he did pin one arm.
Yeah, and he actually attempted to kick it. Yeah. And Minton Connell was a bit unlucky not to have succeeded.
Harvey to Zilla. They can certainly set something up here, St Kilda. Zilla from left centre wing. Everett on the lead. Croft wearing in closely. Everett tries to keep it in play. No Crummer there. In fact, he couldn't keep it in play anyway. Out of bounds. The difference 2 goals inside the last 2.5 minutes of the quarter. So a throw in the Saints' left forward pocket. The wind from the northeast blowing diagonally across the ground right into the pocket where we have the football now.
West and Zilla are now accompanying each other. And Scotty West is getting plenty of possessions.
Throw in a little bit short. Favours St Kilda. Kick comes from Johnson. Straight into the arms of the Brownlow medalist.
Well, they should go back and kick this one. The wind is behind him. Distance isn't a problem. It's just a matter of accuracy. The Saints need this one just before quarter time.
And a new dad too, Robert Harvey. Heatley. Oh, didn't have to go at it. It's a goal. He kicked it about 3 or 4 metres outside the line. It's cleared the goal line by about 7 or 8 metres. A kick more than 60 metres. Terrific kick by Rowan Smith. Wind down at the bout. Picked up by Burke. Smother West. Burke again. And the ball up.
The Bulldogs ended up getting that goal from Rowan Smith because of a 1-on-3 battle with Scotty Wind and 3 St Kilda players in the middle of the ground. It was a superb solo performance from the skipper and has ignited this quarter for the Bulldogs.
Harvey on the run again. A little give to Burke. Must have been legal. Heatley in the middle of the pack. Crediuk's there. Winmar reads the rebound okay. Just didn't kick it as well as he could have and arguably should have.
Well, he needed that one, Mick. Whenever your direct opponent gets a goal, and that was Rowan Smith for Nicky Winmar, it's always nice to be able to sneak one back very quickly.
But that opportunity was all presented by the work of also Robert Harvey. But I just question the positioning of Jose Romero. He's naturally alongside Robert Harvey at the stop play situations, that being when the central umpire's about to bounce the ball. He's starting defensively, but he's giving him too much latitude on the run through.
Everett the fly from behind. Brown. Oh, where's he kicked that? No one's there. Heatley had to actually play it like a defender. Too high. Too high. Free kick.
Well, they're a bit lucky there because I thought Brown kicked it over the heads of a couple of his teammates. And, quite clearly, they were a little bit miffed and they could have had a direct shot, but the Saints have got away with it here, John.
Yeah, well, there's the free kick, as you've called, was paid for a high tackle and clearly over the shoulder. There really isn't much doubt about it, so Beveridge will take the kick.
Spent most of the first quarter on the bench, not all, as he did last week at the MCG, Luke Beveridge.
Left to right goalpost, Peter.
Yes, with the strong northerly. Let's see what he can do. He's read it okay, it's a goal. Good kick. Beveridge fell over, got the free kick. Can't argue with that, but a little bit of bad luck, I guess. Hudson. Harvey. Now it's over to West. Grant. Doesn't usually mess around with those marks. And gets on with it very quickly.
And just pops it through.
If you don't mind.
Too easy.
As you like, there was no one there. Goal.
Yeah, good goal to Chris Grant. What skill and what confidence in your skill. He just fooled everybody up here in the box and also out on the ground because no one's suspecting he was going to go quickly onto his left boot and goal. But Scotty West got the ball after a succession of handballs in the middle. Most notably on that occasion, Mick, it was a deft backward tap from Scotty Wine to Romero. So I take your point about Romero starting away from Harvey, but I think he must have been told by his coach to back yourself home.
Yeah, it's interesting to see now he's actually going to the side. They're using a zone system on this setup.
Difference back to 7 points after Grant's goal. Wine couldn't get clear. Brown on the ground now.
Johnson.
It's Johnson. Oh, good mark, Minton Connell. Out-bustled Darryl Wakeland. No, can he run around? I thought he'd blown time on then.
No, the reason he... And the reason he hadn't blown time on was, there's obviously a big discussion about whether in fact it was a goal or not. It'll be interesting to see if Brett Allen goes in to consult. No, he's convinced the goal umpire was certain it was a behind.
Maybe James Cook was saying you blew time on. Peter McKenna, did you see that one?
Well, I certainly can't tell, but I do know one thing, neither could the goal umpire. No, honestly, if that is not the perfect time, you would say you need 2 goal umpires, one on each post. He could not cover the ground. Just a mile away.
Yeah, just in... Here we see it again, and yeah, it's difficult to tell, but that's a very good camera shot. But in relation to there being no time on, Pete, the umpire won't blow time on if he's on his correct line of kick.
Brown has to go at the goals. That's a behind as well. I can tell you that because it hit the post.
Matthew Young once again involved in a turnover situation under pressure. He handballed the ball back. And here's Steve Collingwood about to come on for his first run for the Western Bullies.
And no surprise there. Pickett. Kicked the first goal for St Kilda today to kick in. The difference is back to 5 points. Goes out wide. Young in front of Midgen Connell in the pocket. Tony Brown will give it to Wakeland. Shane Wakeland. Kick to centre wing. Sierakowski and Heatley were there. Sierakowski recovers the better.
Terrible kick.
Paddled forward out to Croft. Tries to brush an opponent. Brushes two. Well played, Matthew Croft. No, he lost the strides. Very cheeky indeed. Darcy. West. West at left half back. Garlick. Thought about going off. Harvey quickly onto the mark. Garlick from left centre wing. Brown. No, too far for him. Wakeland's there. Shane Wakeland to Burke. It was close. Campbell takes the kick, left centre wing. Kicks straight into the man on the mark. It's okay. It's going to rebound to Peckett. Gets around Cook. Brown shepherded off. Down to half forward. Oh, it's a catch. And that's just what it looked like. Great mark by Stewie Lowe. Got those big mitts underneath it.
Well, he won't kick the distance from here. And he should have been on the end of a Sierakowski kick just 2 minutes ago. It was a very ordinary option from Sierakowski to go over his head, but Stewie's looking for the shorter option.
Winmar. Well, he's no near a goal. 48 metres out. It's going to be close. A little bit of interference right on the line. Now it's touched off hands, and it will be a rush behind.
And on that occasion, Mick, Scotty Wine got right on the goal line.
Terrific mark here by Stuart Lowe, as you see by the replay. Body use against Croft, his direct opponent. Just got him underneath the flight of the footy, but that's a terrific mark.
5-9 to 5-3. The difference at even goal. Pretty well at the halfway mark of the second quarter. Low again. Stephen Zuber. Oh, that's a great mark by Brad Johnson. Certainly worth a second look, that one.
Yeah, he's having a great game at the moment, Brad Johnson.
He's not doing too bad either. Out to Dent. On the sidelines for a few weeks from suspension, but getting back to some good form. Chris Grant never out of that category.
Go back and have a shot, Chris.
Got the breeze at his back. He's got in short. Minton Connell, first grab, couldn't get it on the second. Hudson tries to get it clear. Harvey mops up for the Satyrs. Out to Winmar. Vintage Winmar today. Beveridge. Now he's got a paddock to move in. Wirra. Thought about coming at him. Johnson. Wirra. And good spoil there by Sierakowski. Clears the line. Gets it away from Rowan Smith.
And a change has been made in the St Kilda defence. Max Hudson's gone from Grant. He's gone on to Minton Connell. Looks like James Cook is going to come off the ground. We see here that St Kilda has won 7 out of their 8 games this year at Waverley. And at the moment, we're not sure whether they're going to add to that. But, Mick, I think the Bulldogs got too many players in their forward line. They need the likes of Hudson to push up the ground and hit the ball on the way back. But at the moment, they're crowding out Chris Grant, and maybe taking James Cook from the ground is one of those reasons of just opening up. On the ground comes Montgomery. He's another runner.
There's Cook off the ground. And Montgomery on. Burke. Nathan Burke kicked to half forward. Punched to the front by Everett. Brown onto the left. Goes at goal. There's no one home. Just needs some accuracy. And bounces. It stopped. And bounced back. Took a right-hand turn and just went over the line from behind.
A typical Shane Warne wrong on that one, Peter.
Oh, was it what?
Unbelievable.
Oh, look at this.
They usually run for you too, a drop punt like that. They usually go over the top and run into the open goal. But on that occasion, she just landed on the point of the ball and she went from left to right.
Well, that is extremely bad luck. Good luck if you're a Western Bulldog supporter. Southern might get a chance here. Winmar. Aussie Jones had a pretty good first quarter, been quiet so far in the second. Nathan Burke. Campbell says go, gets it down to Harvey. Had 11 kicks in the first quarter, the Brownlow medalist. On to Everett. Brilliant footy. Actually nearly cleaned up his mate.
Yeah, that's terrific pause by the champion, Robert Harvey. He's had 20 possessions already at this stage of the game, 16 and 4, and he is an exceptional athlete, continues to run long and hard. On this occasion, he just had the poise to balance and set up, whereas Jose Ramiro's direct opponent only had 5 and 3.
Kick by Everett. That's not bad from there. The crowd likes it, and the goal umpire says, yes, it's a goal. 6 individual goal kickers for St Kilda. There's just one multiple goal kicker on the ground, and that's Chris Grant, who topped the Brownlow voting last year, but of course couldn't win it.
High tackle paid in the ruck contest, Pete, to Stewie Lowe.
He'll give it to Harvey. Now he doesn't get 3 votes today on this form. You'd wonder why. Zilla. Everett should mark this.
And all of a sudden, the Everett factor is starting to pay some dividends and have an influence on this game. And it wasn't up the end where the wind is blowing us now into the wind. He's just been able to get himself free a couple of times. They're not big pack marks. They're just good marks on the end of good kicks.
Tricky kick. Again, as Mick pointed out earlier, the left goalpost is the target. It came around. In fact, if he'd been about another 5 metres further out, it would have been a goal.
He went for the left point post.
Yeah. So they look a far better, more mobile outfit when Lowy actually goes into the ruck and Everett does push forward. That's been the difference between the two sides at this halfway mark of the second quarter for sure.
Dense, towering kick. Marked, oh, well, I nearly said marked. Should have been marked by Winmar. Brown underneath it. They come from all directions, knocked away by Southern. This is Thompson, outside 50. Everett the target, if he can get there, nearly. Brown the crummer, just couldn't quite gather it in. West got bowled over in the tackle. Again, Brown a snap. Which way is this one going to bounce? Straight ahead, that's what he wanted the last one to do. Dent, and come back across the ground. He's got Wirra, and Wirra takes the mark in the left back pocket.
Well, once again, Jose Ramiro just staying off Rob Harvey. He's always giving him 10 metres leeway, and Harvey's just exploiting it too much.
To Martina, Surakoski read that best, came in from the side.
Harvey will get on the end of this one again. Mick, would you put another player onto Harvey at the moment?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting situation as we see the ball going forward for St Kilda, Jared. I just question whether maybe it might be an opportunity to put someone like Rowan Smith or Brad Johnson to go to him and just try to run off him, put some sort of an effort or defensive attitude into Robert Harvey's mind.
Maybe Ramiro is injured because he is, well, he looks like he's hobbling from the ground now.
Well,
that's disappointing.
Everett, West, Burke, good tackle by West. Kick comes out in the direction of Garlick and Thompson. Thompson to Brown. A little bit slower the kick. It's going to bounce out of bounds in the forward pocket.
He hasn't had his same drive today, Jose Ramiro. It's not surprising that he's been injured, and whether or not he carried that injury into the game, we'll never know. But we'll go down to Dipper shortly and get an update when he manages to find out some information.
Looks like he's gone straight up to the medical room too, Jared. Yeah, straight up the race.
Well, limped up the race, didn't he? Wind from behind. Everett, West, freeze. Can they get some more? This man has been brilliant today. Harvey, he's combined superbly with the likes of this character as well. Winmar to Burke. See, they've got some strong players, some good players, some brilliant players. Here's another one if he can take the mark low, in from the side. Couldn't complete it. Snap it, goal is there. Beveridge.
Yep, terrific play there by Luke Beveridge again. He's a direct opponent, I think, on that.
62 plays 39. Western Bulldogs' last goal, the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. Peckett, a goal kicker already today for St Kilda. Low, bustled, still able to get the hand pass away. St Kilda desperate to get a goal in the third quarter with the win. Can Peckett give it to them? Down the left flank. Zilla calling for it. Could have done better. Winmar measures it up towards Thompson at half forward, gets tripped over. Curley, tackled by Beveridge. Now Zilla puts it up high. Heatley's there in front. Therefore, they left it for each other.
Everett's free kick, though, Pete,
for pushing the back, Mick.
Well, that was a comedy of errors almost, wasn't it?
And how often do you see this in a game of footy when one...
No chance, Everett.
The Spider from 20 metres out directly in front, kicks a goal. Now Heatley has taken the mark, in the full-back position. Lowe or Young could have taken it. They combine. Young gets past Scotty Wine. Plenty of run in those legs over the head of Quettiuk onto Winmar. Just his second kick of the quarter. Winmar down to full forward. Sierakowski, great diving mark. Terrific play, St Kilda. They ran it from one end of the ground to the other.
To dispossess and get Grant out of the road.
Sierakowski kicks and he goals. Match Mitchell's hand passes blocked. They may be able to run it out. West couldn't do so. Elliott, you would say, got taken high. He'll get a free kick. Too far out to score. He's kicked it long and high. Everett the target and marks. Oh, wow, spread eagles the pack.
Yeah, superior judgment on that occasion. He had contest. Everett took a terrific mark.
Everett from 45 metres kicks the goal. Start of the final term at Waverley. Saints against the breeze. The Western Bulldogs trailing by 28 points. They need some quick goals. Ball shuffled out the side of the pack to Montgomery. Had it and then lost it. Chance for Burke again. No one there. Goes long with the hand pass. West in front of Thompson. Tackled by Everett. Legally according to the umpire. Now the Bulldogs turn. Hudson. Haven't seen too much of him today. Hudson's kick down to Minton Cottle. St Kilda with the numbers. They'll need to keep them to Elliott. And they came on late in the third quarter onto Winmar. Brilliant in the first half, but was taken out of the contest during the third term. Justin Peckett from left centre wing. A goal kicker for St Kilda today. He got that in the first quarter. Montgomery chases. Takes him down after he got rid of the football, but play will continue. West, a little flip up to the front of the pack. Wirra was there. Elliott gets it out to Heatley. Danny Southern close to the boundary line. Will he take it over? Runs into the point post. It's out of bounds. I'd back Danny Southern over the point post.
Actually, Hodgson
rather painful blow to Hodgson.
Max Hodgson's got a broken bone in his hand. He's had for some time, and that obviously is troubling him.
Help him. Elliott. Chance for the Bulldogs to clear. Johnson. One bounce. Sidesteps Everett. And that's okay. Rowan Smith. Long looping hand pass to the advantage of Curley. Curley at midfield. The Bulldogs going long with the breeze, as you would expect. Cook, a little bit of a nudge out.
Good play, that one. He pushed him to the side. He should...
It's a nudge.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, well done, Max Hodgson. Onto Harvey. That was brilliantly done onto Ozzie Jones. Now, Garlick has done a good job on him since quarter time. Burke at right centre wing. Winmar calls for it. Young's there as well. Young to Winmar, intercepting as Brown, the youngster. Former Morris medalist. The bounce favours Hudson. Tackle, sees the ball, jarred free inside 50, and the umpire will ball it up.
And Gerard, just on that situation there, James Cook, he gets paid to kick goals. I know it's a team-orientated thing. You've just got to go back and kick shots on goal to keep the chance to keep the your team involved.
Yeah. On the bench, Dipper.
Yes, Pete, we've got Jose Romero, Paul Dimartino, Luke Darcy, surprisingly to be on the bench, and also Steve Collinyuk. And for St Kilda, we have Healy, Mitchell, Lappin, and young Brad Campbell.
Okay, thanks, Dipper.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Mick. That one had to go through, and it's that decision to try and lay the ball off when inside 50 that cost him so badly in the third quarter.
It did so unbalanced.
I think he's just trying to give his forward more of an advantage to kick goal, because it is a very strong breeze he was going to kick into.
35 metres out on a slight angle. Peter McKenna, you're the expert full forward. Do you think he should have kicked it?
Oh, look, I think James Cook has got a history of making very dumb decisions, and I think there's 2 or 3 today when he's gone. Look, when you're 30 metres from goal, Gerard, at a vital time in the game, you go back and you have a shot.
Garlick's kick. Oh, Elliott gets a terrible bounce, gives Minton Connell a chance. Hodgson wearing him closely. Elliott, Hudson down, scoops the ball out just in time, you'd reckon. Burke gets cannoned into by Martin, and umpire David Howard will come in and ball it up.
Yeah, the Saints, they'll certainly try to just close it up for most of the quarter here, and we just see the effort there by Nathan Burke. Brad Johnson's probably slightly had the better of him in the actual contest on the one-on-one situation, but in that occasion, Nathan Burke just committed himself to the contest and won the ground level ball.
He comes down to the two number 12s, Wakeland and Cook. Shane Wakeland, it's out of bounds, about 5 metres from the behind post. Still the margin 28 points. Luke Darcy on the boundary line, trying to keep warm, but as Peter McKenna suggested, it's pretty cool. Wind and Everett. Everett, we believe, had his number taken in the third quarter. Wind, looked for somebody, sees Grant, who snaps. Gee, that's not as good as he would have liked. It's out of bounds, right next to the behind post. Cook being brought back on the mark and flattens, I think accidentally, Burke. Walked right into him.
Well, efficiency in front of the goal hasn't been one of the strengths of the Bulldogs today. And Peter McKenna, you saw exactly what happened.
Well, I can't believe the umpire. That was a deliberate charge by James Cook straight into Burke. Yeah. And he should have been pinged for that.
You're right, Pete.
Actually, looking at it on replay, it wasn't accidental. I must agree with you. Croft out to West. Curley calling for it. Went in his direction. Wasn't a great kick. He did well to pick it up ultimately. Brown is a left footer on the right. Squares the ball, and that's okay. The mark is taken by Montgomery. So like the third quarter, the Western Bulldogs having plenty of the football early. Cook and Wakeland with the wind at his back. He goes long. Cook. Yes, he's got this one. Surely he will have a shot here.
And unlike St Kilda, who have taken half a dozen marks deep in the forward line, that would be the first one, Mick, I think, that the Bulldogs have taken within 25 metres of goal.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there. Chris Grant's got a lot of his marks up around the sort of centre wing area, yep. Really presenting himself. But James Cook kicks a goal.
Handy one to start the quarter. Heatley off the ground. He goes to the bench. James Cook joining Chris Grant and Simon Minton-Connell as the leading goal kickers for the Western Bulldogs. They both have 2, and the difference back to 22 points. This time the Saints out of the centre. Burke's kicked a half forward. Beveridge, who's also kicked a couple of goals, onto Harvey. A brilliant first half, but tagged well in the second term. They come from everywhere. Chance for Zilla to have a snap at goal. It's all the Bulldogs down there, and Croft will take the mark.
What a contest between Danny Southern and also his teammate and Steve Crediuk, who's lying down at the moment, may be hurt.
Brown to Wirra. Too quick for Elliott. Dent had a brilliant third quarter. Will he leave it for Garlick? He will. And he's still down, Crediuk.
So makes control of this football important for the Bulldogs when they're one man down in defence.
Smith.
She's at speed.
Go to goal now.
Young chasing. Should be able to get something out of this. Cook has the sit again. Punch away by Wakeland. Campbell taken down in the tackle. Cook a chance. He looked for a hand pass. Just see St Kilda jumpers there. And they tie it up again successfully, the St Kilda defenders.
And Jared, in this situation, you really would be looking for Paul Hudson to stand up. He's had a fairly quiet day.
Sorry, Mick, there's a free kick being paid against James Cook for a high tackle while the ball was dead there. So very, very costly error if, in fact, it was a justified free kick.
And Winmar's giving it back to Harvey after it came from Hudson.
Mick, do you think that the Saints have just been in control mode since half-time rather than trying to bury the Bulldogs?
Yeah, maybe they might have had a defensive, but I think the Western Bulldogs have certainly upped the ante and they're really running extremely hard and they're gaining first access to the ball around these tight congestion areas. At the moment, the Saints will have to certainly lift in that area of the game.
Made a goal, the Saints.
Surakoski couldn't get through some pretty heavy traffic, and neither can Danny Southern.
Pick Crediuk off the ground. Looks like he's concussed. I'll keep you up to date with it.
Yeah, it was a pretty heavy collision, Dipper.
Jared, would you bring Heatley back on the ground now, knowing that Crediuk's off the ground? He could be the bloke that could provide a goal for the Saints to put them sort of that extra buffer, to give them that extra buffer and a chance to win this game.
Yeah, it's worth considering. Without Crediuk, he really has controlled it this afternoon.
Wind to Wirra. Wakeland over the top. Martin couldn't control it. It comes to Campbell to kick off the ground, and Campbell marks that centre half back. Young. Now, he hasn't gone over the mark. Now gets the call to play on as he goes wide of it. Pinpoint accuracy finds Peckett. Looks for Stewie Lowe. Croft wearing it pretty closely. That's a very good mark.
Sensational mark by the big fella. He certainly has been a terrific errorless tonight, and that is his 14th mark at this stage.
Saints with the numbers, or the Bulldogs rather with the numbers. And they bring it out successfully through Dent, but Harvey's there marking in front of Michael Martin.
That blast out of defence really is just a waste of time. If it doesn't go to your opponent, it's just going to come back to you as soon as possible. You're better off grubbering one across the line.
Everett stood his ground well, the big fellow. May have an appointment with the tribunal during the week. He certainly did appear to have his number taken late in the third quarter. And we were speculating during three-quarter time that if that is the case and he gets reported, well, it may cost him a brown, though. He has, Mick, been in great form.
He certainly has. Over the last 5 weeks, he's really stood up, and maybe they've got Brownlow votes.
Everett's kick into the goal square. Elliott nearly. Now, there's a holding decision here. It's going to be a Western Bulldogs free kick, and I believe Matthew Croft will be the recipient.
Pete, just to confirm, Everett has been reported. Just check with the umpires.
Thanks for that, Dipper.
Freddie looks as if he's about set to return.
He was really crunched in that collision. Southern and Sierakowski. Smith, a little give to Garlick. Jones can't catch him. Garlick, Grant. He doesn't drop too many marks. Grant's kick to Cook. Has a chance to make amends for not taking the mark. Well, he had Minton Connell out in front. He goes at goal, and I think he's missed. Well, was that the right play, Peter McKenna? Should he have gone out to Minton Connell?
Well, I think he did have a quick look. He probably thought because of his other crook short pass he wouldn't do it again. But he's been arguing with the umpire for about the last 5 minutes, David Howlett. So they've been in a long discussion. So very interesting. It'd like to be a fly on the wall, Pete.
Shane Wakeland to Winmar. Darryl Wakeland outmarked by Grant again. Brilliant.
Superstar.
Absolutely brilliant. Certainly worth another look, that one. Not a classical mark, but courageous as well. Garlick. Too far out to score, although with the breeze, it's around Darryl Wakeland. Onto Smith. Now this guy could just about goal. Jones has nearly got him. Was that enough to put him off the kick? It's Cook, yes!
He certainly can play football, Peter. There's no doubt about that. If you just solely concentrate on the game at hand and really just get in control of his head, this bloke can certainly play the football, and he can turn a game very quickly because he is a straight kick for goal usually. More importantly, he's got that sort of presence about him in the forward part of the ground.
The Bulldogs look a different side with Rowan Smith attacking, kicking the ball inside the forward 50.
He's got the goal. It's his third.
And Gerard, you actually intimated that earlier in the third quarter.
Approaching the halfway mark of the last quarter. 15 points is now the margin. That's the closest the Bulldogs have been for some time.
Big centre bounce clearance, this one.
And the Bullies have done it again. West off a step. Kicks to half forward. Minton Connell. Yes, he's been paid the mark. Well, there was some conjecture whether the two full forwards would work. He just couldn't complete it then, Cook. Wakeland to Winmar. Bounce a factor.
Slung out disposal, so the free kick will come back to Nicky Winmar, Pete.
Well, once again, I just think Minton Connell took the wrong option. Cook led out. The goal mouth was open. All he had to do was kick the ball straight. It would have dribbled across the line.
Winmar's kick needs to be good. It is. Low on the end of it. They'll run it out the other side now, which is the defensive side here of Waverley today, over the head of Hudson. Bulldogs everywhere. Montgomery loves those. Back to Garlick. Calling for it as Wine. You'll go a little bit longer. Over the head of the Bradley medalist and the captain. Winmar is in the road. So too is Stewie Lowe and takes the mark in front of Cook.
Poor option because there was a multitude of Western Bulldogs forwards who led directly at the kicker. Scott Wynn was in between. Maybe it would have been a better option just to break it up.
Winmar to Harvey.
Simon Garlick, it's been the big letdown of his game today. Just hasn't made the correct decision when winning the ball.
Harvey clear of Curley. Punch to the front. Wirra. Wakeland. Shane Wakeland's clear. Kick straight down toward half forward. Ball takes a turn to the right and gives Montgomery the chance to get there in front of Everett, the two number 10s. Croft. Still Croft. Martin calls forward in midfield. Goes a little bit longer than that. That's the message. Kick long with the breeze in the final quarter. Low. Good mark.
But surely the defensive players have got to make smarter decisions and just kicking the ball dumbly to centre-half back where Stewie Lowe is. I mean, will cost the Bulldogs the match if, in fact, they get near enough to Saints.
Well, they can't get a goal. You saw the step when they got their last one. Michael Martin. Cook again. Didn't like the attention of Elliott. But there won't be any 50-metre penalty for that.
Yeah, good set up there. All he has to do is balance himself, James Cook, on this situation. But also Stewie Lowe, credit must be given to his performances here. Here's the replay here. Mickey Martin, terrific effort. Darcy's coming on the ground also. But Stewie Lowe, he's taken 17 marks tonight, and he has been a tower of strength for the St Kilda team.
Absolutely sensational. He may well have gone past Rob Harvey. He really just hasn't got near the footy in this second half.
No.
He's only had 9 kicks. Oh.
Well, he's reversed it.
Yeah, free kick against Todd Curley for pushing well off the footy, and as you've called it,
Terry Wallace will be just pulling his hair out in the box. The Bulldogs are just making too many dumb mistakes, which is unlike them as a side.
Waste of opportunity there.
Stewie Lowe. Well, if there's to be a decision that turns this game around, that may very well be it. Ziva. Out to Lowe again. Another mark. Tony Brown. Justin Pickett. Now, if the Saints get a goal here, what a turnaround that would be. 2-goal situation, but Darcy just back onto the ground, takes the mark. West, Pickett, sort of telegraphed that one a bit.
And he had the loose man on the other side of the ground, and I think Terry Wallace is motioning with that paper, bring the football over onto this attacking side of the ground, which is at the bottom of the screen, not the outer side.
Throw in right on 50, right half forward. For St Kilda.
Sunk Sprout is really starting to get behind the side now. They know they need a goal to push out, to stamp out this attacking threat from the Bulldogs.
Winmar, Everett in front. Behind, the mark is taken by Credior. Well, what a game we've had. Dent on to Martin. Now he can run, so the instructions were get it to this side. And that's worked so far.
Chris Grant has sprinted 120 metres to get on the end of this kick. That is brilliant athleticism.
And Elliott's gone to the fullback position on Cook. Shane Wakeland's gone forward.
Here he is. Cook leads. Mark. Oh, no, he doesn't mark. Should have taken that one. It's easy from up here. Makes amends. Cook. Campbell's got him. The hand pass to Martin. Should be a goal. 3 metres out. And he's missed. Dear, oh dear. Golden opportunities. First from Cook, and then that one may cost the Bulldogs the game.
Well, once again, another dumb decision, because there were 2 players at the top of the goal square, 15 metres out. A composed player, a Robert Harvey, would have, instead of going for the very tough percentage shot, would have just chipped the ball to the top of the goal square and allowed his teammates to have an easy shot.
Good kick by Campbell. Long. Lappin spent a lot of time on the bench today. Would love to get into the fray. Everett the target. Couldn't complete it. Heatley back onto the ground as well. Pressuring Credior, who goes to the boundary line. They will argue deliberate, but it won't be. You would expect a match and nothing less than this match for top spot on the ladder. 6 3/4 minutes remaining in it. The June Grand Final. Harvey from Wine, the 2 Brownlow medalists figuring in that passage of play. Fickle bounce. Johnson paddles it further forward. He's out. The ball was in.
No, the ball's out.
And luckily enough for St Kilda supporters and followers, because the Western Bulldogs team was certainly off and away. Paul Hudson would have streamed into the forward 50-metre area. Maybe kicked a goal for the Western Bullies.
He's on centre wing.
He's been one of the players that the Bulldogs really do need to lift. He just hasn't been able to get near the goals this match.
Mitchell grabbed, didn't have the footy. Gives it to Winmar. Young. Desperately need a goal, the Saints. Ziva. Heatley and Everett. Heatley at the second attempt. Sees West intervene. Dual bested first winner. Lappin gets a terrible bounce. Maybe luck's going to play a part in this match as well. Curley's been good after half-time, hasn't he? Hudson from Aussie Jones. He's got him. That's a good tackle. Umpire says play on. Garlick, no support for him.
Terrific play by young Brad Campbell. Oh,
Free kick paid for a high tackle, Nick.
oh.
I think he just kept hold of him just a little bit longer. Wasn't it great to see two players on two? And then you're right, John, there's the two.
Yeah.
Garlick's kick, turned it over again. Winmar.
Nicky Winmar's been good this last 5 minutes, really pushing back defensively in the back part of the ground for the St Kilda team, repelling a lot of Western Bulldogs thrusts.
Harvey to Zilla. Well, nearly to Zilla. Martin. He's got speed to burn. The mark is taken by Brad Johnson. Trying to crib on the mark.
That tactic's becoming contagious, isn't it, Pete?
Sure is.
And that time that Brad Johnson spent cribbing, Luke Darcy was free, only about 25 metres out from goal. He must kick this goal now.
Distance won't be a problem for him. Neither is accuracy. St Kilda's been in command just about all day. If they get home, they'll stagger over the line, but the Bulldogs are coming at them. They're snapping at their heels with just minutes to go here at Waverley. Centre breaks crucial. Harvey calls a throw. The advantage is going to be paid. No, it's not. Ozzie Jones with the free kick. Winmar. St Kilda desperately needing a goal. Now, a bad sort of a tackle by Lappin.
Yeah, top decision by the umpire. Matthew Dent was in and under and
Had just taken possession of the footy, Jared, so it would have been certainly no prior opportunity to dispose of the ball.
And at half-time, Terry Wallace also mentioned the double teaming aspect on Robert Harvey. Brad Brewer has now got the job on Robert Harvey.
West. Well, they're just running it out again, the Bulldogs. West from Martin. Pickett went up one-handed. He may be able to get back and do something with it ultimately. Off the ground. And a bad sort of an option. Couldn't quite get it to the boundary line. Finally, he does so.
well, the staggers a little bit the Saints. They haven't kicked a goal for some time, and the Bulldogs are just starting to believe that they can win this game. They are now running in numbers, and I'll tell you what, Mick, it's difficult to see where the next St Kilda goal is going to come from. They have got Everett sitting up there in the goal square.
Kick away by Johnson. Winmar in the road. Burke looks for Harvey. Harvey around the boundary line. Montgomery was up. No one comes down with the footy. It's a ball up. That will certainly suit St Kilda.
Daniel Healy about to come on. He is a notable goal kicker. Stanells knows that he needs another goal to get away with this. If there's still 8 points, if they don't kick another goal, I don't think the Saints will finish up winning.
I think you're right. Darcy. Handy bounce. Terrible kick. Campbell. Spiral punt kick off the boot. Knocked away by Crediuk. They need speed here. Healy's there. So too is Curley. Healy takes him down in the tackle. That's a brilliant tackle by Dent.
Fantastic to see all the players just throwing themselves at the balls. His desperation stakes.
It is here.
Sensational down here at ground level. Every player's using their voice, just pushing their teammates on.
No prize per second today.
What a matchup. Wind and Everett in the goal square.
Southern wins that one. He's tried hard all day. Nathan Burke. Terrible kick. Scotty West. Oh, runs straight into Everett. You wouldn't wish that on anybody. Lappin, can he kick a goal? It's coming back. It's coming back. He's kicked one. What may do it?
Yeah, Matthew Lappin, who spent most of the time on the interchange bench, he's came on at this last part of the game. He's had 2 kicks, 1 mark and 1 terrific tackle just before. But more importantly, he's pushed forward here. Andrew Thompson once again involved in the contest. Matthew Lappin, right place, right time. And as we know, he's a very skillful young player. That's a terrific kick across his body to give that little bit of a buffer to the Saints team, knowing there's only a couple of minutes of the play remaining.
Well, it was said we couldn't see where the next goal was coming from. Lappin bobbed up with it. Perhaps an unlikely goal kicker, but a very valuable 6-pointer. Now the Bulldogs not only need a reply, they need a couple more. Garlick. Hudson underneath it, went up with one hand. They may get a quick reply here. Hudson, Burke, Dives on it. Minton Connell the tackle. A quick kick out of the congestion to Winmar. Back to Young. Young has a look over his shoulder. Low behind him says go. Stewart's Young inside the square. Lobs it over the top to Ozzie Jones. Confronted by Dent. Still Jones gets the hand pass back. Thompson could kick the sealer. 25 metres out. Has he kicked it? Touched on the line by Scotty Wide.
25 metres out.
Should have done better.
I think the old fatigue factor, Jared, was a part of that. Andrew Thompson's worked tirelessly all day.
Yep.
He's been terrific for the duration of this game.
Time, the essence of the contract for the Western Bulldogs. They've got to get it down the other end quickly.
Play on.
Darcy, yes.
Ron Smith he'll come straight down the middle of the ground.
He's at left centre wing. Young chasing. Smith the half forward. Sirakoski underneath it. Winmar will have to get back quickly. Or did he hold Grant? Umpire lets it go. Harvey will be keen to get this over the line if he can. It's taken over by Johnson in the end, as it turned out. What a contest for top spot. Crowd has certainly had its money worth. Darcy, Jones. Garlick is all tied up.
And that's all you have to do in that situation from the St Kilda team. Really just tighten up the situation. We see the call here from Luke Darcy, getting the ground level players away from the contest, trying to give them some space to work in.
Young on Darcy, good tackle, holding the man decision as it's turned out. West is going to take the free kick.
Well, he's got Stewie Lowe dropping back in the goal square, so he may need to go for a shorter option.
Dual best and fairest, Minton Connell, Hudson, big leap over the top for the punch away. It might be good enough. The Saints may be able to pinch it now. Peckett, Justin Peckett short of half-back, kicks to centre wing. Lappin, the goal kicker. Twittiuk's got him. Couldn't quite hold him in the tackle. Montgomery loses out to Heatley. Heatley the quick hand pass. Back to Lappin was brilliant. Kicks up towards Everett. Couldn't complete the mark. Ball falls to the ground again. Lappin. Twittiuk. Everett, the spider. Kicks it out of bounds on the full. But it's up that end. So Saints fans breathe a little easier. Danny Southern with the free kick.
Defensively, hasn't Steve Twittiuk done a terrific job? He's only had possession 6, 1 and 5, but defensively he's done his job on Jason Heatley, and that's all you got to do in that part of the ground.
Bruce Dual type effect. Sirakoski punches away. Martin from Scotty West. Kick back towards centre wing. There's the siren. And the Satyrs have gone to the top of the ladder. The grand final in June was a thriller, as we expected it would be. St Kilda has come away with the 4 points. They've come away with a psychological advantage too, Nick, haven't they?
Yeah, to a degree. I think Pete in June, I don't think it has much bearing once September comes around, but all you can do is win these tight pressure cooker games, and St Kilda, they've been the probably quiet achievers throughout the course of the year, and they've been sensational. Down to you, Dippy. You got big Stewie Lowe.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mickey. Well, Stewie, you find yourself on top of the ladder. What a terrific game.
Oh, fantastic. He's right. Mate, I'm knackered. Absolutely knackered. But,
You've taken 20 marks yourself, you know, tonight.
oh, about time. It's been a lean couple of weeks, but no, really pleased with the game today and the boys. A little bit sloppy in that third quarter, but this is the way we battled that in that last quarter, full of character.
In pretty tough conditions.
Yeah, it was fairly swirly, but it's just nice to come to the footy with no rain and no clouds, so it was a real bonus this morning.
You've had a terrific last 3 weeks, a couple of big wins, and obviously today, well, you find yourself on top of the ladder. That's what you aim for.
You're not wrong, Dibber, but there's still plenty of footy to go, so we'll just take it a week at a time, but we'll enjoy it tonight.
Well done, mate. The boys are calling for you.
Thanks, Dibber. Stewie Lowe will hear to... He was brilliant all day, Mick, but particularly in the second half.
Oh, for sure. After half-time, he really did stand up, and the statistics, they have 12 and 13, but more importantly, 19 marks. It's just an exceptional game from a big fella. But there's a lot of players out there that can hold their heads up, that provided a sensational contest between, no doubt, 2 very good teams. You have a look through the statistics of St Kilda. You have a look at Robert Harvey. He led the way in the first half, finished with 35 possessions. Also, Nicky Winmar had 30. But Nathan Burke, as the game got on, he got more involved. He had 24 critical possessions. Peter Everett, of course, he had 14 and 6 with 7 marks, but more importantly, 3 goals. For the Western Bulldogs, Chris Grant, he was superb. 24 possessions, 16 marks. You look through that team, Scott West, he worked tirelessly all day, finished the day with 31 possessions. But all in all, Pete, it was a sensational contest between 2 very good teams. There's the Saints there, no doubt, one tight group. And that's what winning footy's all about. The more you win, the morale stays within the group, and that's what this St Kilda team's all about.
Mick, did you feel that the two full forward policy of Cook and Minton Connell worked a little bit better after half-time?
Yeah, I think so. It was the game we were on. They certainly looked dangerous when it got to that part of the ground. James Cook in particular, he finished the game with 8 marks, kicked 3 goals. He made a couple of fundamental decision errors that probably cost the Western Bulldogs an opportunity to kick some goals. But let's not take nothing away from this team. There's Nathan Bird, one of the co-captains who leads the team off. He was sensational half-time. His work rate can never be questioned. He always gives 100% to the club that he loves and also the jump that he plays for. But when you see a tight-knit bunch coming off like that, this is their 5th win in a row, and it's so important in this middle part of the year, June and July, to keep winning so you can formulate enough wins to finish as high as you possibly can come the end of the year.
The only low point as far as the Saints are concerned, the report of Everett, and of course we remember the grand final last year, Everett was missing, and I think many people would suggest, not necessarily agree, that had Everett been playing, St Kilda may have won. We'll never know that. But if he's missing for the next few weeks, that could prove costly if they want top spot.
Yeah, for sure. That is a hypothetical situation, I suppose, talking about the influence of Everett in a grand final. But that, as we know, at this stage of the year, he's such an important player. And knowing that they have got North Melbourne next week at Waverley Park, will be another big game. A sensational contest between two very good teams. One probably play a little bit differently in that North Melbourne are very simple in their approach. And this St Kilda team, they certainly run and create and try to involve a weight of numbers in getting high possessions within the group. But they're certainly a good team as this St Kilda outfit, and they're ably led by all leaders throughout the different parts of the ground, and that's what good sides are really about. They've got leadership in the back half, more importantly in the midfield, and they've got the finishers up front when they get the opportunity to kick goals.
I like the game of Matthew Young. He's probably an unsung hero, but he does get a lot of balls across the half-back and puts them into attack with that run, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure. As we see the Saints boys bellowing their song in as what footy's all about. Aren't they excited, Pete?
They are. Can they get their first flag since 1966? Today, they go to the top of the ladder after defeating the Western Bulldogs by 15 points, 12-15, 87 to 10-12, 72 from Waverley. We'll take a break from the grand final.